Because you guys,
Yeah,
your clients are someone else.
You're not, but you're not.
We're on.
Yeah, you're not a slave to anyone else. So you can't
No,
say.
but that's right.
You can't say, oh, you don't have someone who says to me, hey, you have to be. Or apart from appointments,
Yep.
you don't have someone who says to me, hey, you got to be here from 9 to 5. Or fuck,
Yeah, well,
you get fired if you don't show up on time.
But that's the thing. Like, why work for someone else's dream?
Mm.
Why work your ass off so someone else can go live in a boat, holiday around the world?
I think it's comfort zone.
Yeah, I mean, I come. So the thing is, I come from a family where we grew up as a family with me and my three brothers, where mum and dad very rarely worked for someone else. They always had their own jobs. They always looked to provide for us boys. And I mean, having four boys that played football, we played touch for Queensland, played touch for Australia, played rugby league for Queensland, rugby league for Australia. So mum and dad's output for their wage went a lot to our. You know, we're always in training camps. We're always, you know, either playing in ACT or Sydney or Melbourne, you know, for national championships. So mum and dad really couldn't afford to work for someone else because they weren't bringing that. Like you can't provide, and you can't.
What business do they have?
Well, mum and dad they had milk runs, bread runs. They had a very successful fuel owning. They owned a fuel depot, where dad would be in the truck. You know, supplying the cockies out at Crow's Nest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, fuel for their tractors and their cars and then whatever else they had. And then mum would look after the depot at home where we had the fuel bowsers out the back where people would drive through our driveway out to 3 or 4 bowsers out the back and then mum would run that. And then it got to the point where we had me, Ben and Shane were playing for the Bronx and Luke was just started, my little younger brother was just started playing for the Bronx. And we decided to buy the Crow's Nest pub out there at Crow's Nest. Great little pub, the Grand Old Crow. Great people at
Where's
Crow's Nest.
Where's that? I'm not up to date with my rural Queensland.
Okay, it's about half an hour northwest of Toowoomba.
Okay. Is that up towards Dalby?
No, that's Dalby's west of Toowoomba. We're sort of north and then a little bit west of Toowoomba.
So up and out.
Up and out, yeah. Great little spot. Beautiful country town. Beautiful little country town. And we had the only pub out there where mum and dad, I felt sorry for them because we bought the pub as a family, but mum and dad had the fuel depot as just mum and dad. It was a family business, but it was mum and dad's. We didn't have any input or we didn't take any profit from it. But we were all playing football where mum and dad would open up the depot at 6 in the morning. They close it at 6 p.m. And then mum would close the depot. If dad had finished his fuel run, they'd go up there and take over the pub. And sometimes they'd finish at 1 o'clock in the morning, clean, do the tills. So they crawl in about at 2:30 in the morning, up at 5, get the fuel depot ready to go. Dad would be in his truck driving to Toowoomba to fuel up, and then go do his fuel runs. Mum and dad, as hard as they worked, when they had their own business, it was the happiest they've ever been.
Mm.
Like when Dad was working, Dad was a screw. He was working at a juvie. Yeah. And Mum had three jobs or 2 jobs, and that was just to support us kids. Because like I said, we're in a lot of sporting teams. You know, new uniforms. You know, flights, accommodation.
It's not even that. It's the week-to-week stuff where you got to get you to practices and like fuel, you little bastards.
Yeah.
You know, you got to
food.
Probably boys. Imagine having 4 teenage boys.
Oh, mate. And the thing is, Ben, the eldest brother, mate, he'd go to school. This is no shit. He'd go to school and he'd have 6 to 7 salad rolls every day because he could eat.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't put any weight on. He wasn't fat like me. But he would put on weight. He wouldn't put on weight, and he'd eat 6 to 7 salad rolls a day. So Mum would have to go out there and get the bread list, and then there was Shane, then there was me, then there was Luke. So, you know, she was doing up 12, 13 rolls a day for us to eat, and that was on the back. That was big lunch. Then she had to look after little lunch and all that sort of stuff for us. But I take my hat off to Mum and Dad the way they brought us up.
Can you imagine having to, like nowadays they talk about how you can't feed your kids shit. Yeah. Like it's easy to feed your kids shit. Like you can fuel them for whatever, for everything you need to. Can you imagine having to try and now, you know how much expensive health food is?
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine trying to fuel 4 teenage boys, or just boys in general, or just a growing family with all of the proper nutrients you're meant to have? Oh, it would be like what's that shop, Flannery's?
Oh,
Imagine we shopped at Flannery's.
But also too, you'd have.
Like, you'd never do it.
Even now, even like that on top of that, plus your kindergarten. What's it?
Daycare costs.
Daycare costs.
Yeah.
On top of that,
Yeah.
I remember Mum and Dad used to just send us to daycare and it cost them nothing.
Yeah.
You know, now
Terrific.
now there's money in it, and people are saying, we're making bank out of it.
Yeah. Oh,
that's on top of
that's the best thing you can own is a daycare.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I got friends of ours owned it. He bought 3 of them, and then he ended up selling it to one of the big conglomerates that came in and bought it off. He just retired.
Yeah.
He owned 3 of them, and all he did was buy a house and convert it into a daycare.
Yep.
And just worked, and the big companies came in. They knew how much money's involved in it because it's never going away.
No.
Parents are never not going to work.
And there's never not going to be any kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Not just me.
But what I was saying was when that COVID hit, everyone rushed to the supermarket and basically
lost their shit.
Yeah, lost their shit. I went to the supermarket as well. I was just going there because I needed to get to the supermarket. And there was an Islander guy, and he was he must have had like obviously a big family. They eat well with those Islanders, they don't miss their meals. He had a full trolley chocker, and this lady was abusing him about hey, shouldn't. And he turned to me afterwards, and he's like, "Look, lady, like I'm just shopping." And he turned to me after and he goes, "Bro, this is just a week's food. This will be gone by the end of the week."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh man, shit, that's rough." And he's like, "This is just what it." And he had like, he was halfway through the supermarket, and he had because he hadn't got to like the frozen section yet.
Yep.
He had like a chocker full of food.
I couldn't like Benny Hennett. He's got 8 kids.
How does that do?
But
how does he survive?
We got 3 kids, and they're pretty. They're like normal kids, and our grocery bill's $300, $350.
Yeah, easy
for the week.
Yeah,
and I think to myself, imagine what it's like for the Polynesian boys. Like I played football in France, and there was a God, his name is dead set. I've forgotten his name. He played for USAP, which is the rugby union club over there.
Yeah,
and he came from a big family. Mate, we lived in this villa in this little, cordon off area, like a nice little area in Perpignan. Yeah. And he had 9 kids. He had his mum and dad lived there. Oh no, his missus' mum and dad lived there, so his in-laws lived there. Mate, his grocery bill was through the roof.
Yeah.
And 2 groceries, you'd see him down Caliso, the shopping centres, or the Carrefours, and like Carrefour over there is like, it's like Woolworths on steroids. And you'd see him walk through there, and him and his missus would have a trolley, and it would be stocked. But I can't, like you said, through the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys were big families. They were getting abused.
That's horrific.
It's horrific.
I know. I couldn't believe it. And he just looked at me, and he was all confused. You know how nice they are, like the nicest people in the world.
They're greatest people in the world.
I can't. He was confused. Yeah. He's like, he just wanted to tell her. I would have told her to fuck off, but he was just trying to be polite and say, "Oh, look, like a growing family.
I've got 7 kids."
But then, like you said with like Ben Hannett, I can't imagine his kids are going to be small.
No, he was telling me their grocery bill was $600 or $700 a week.
And the rest,
probably.
By the time then you go out for a meal and you got to feed. I want to leave little bastards home. That's what we do.
I know. That's how come I've stopped at 3.
I've got 2, so
yeah.
That's about.
See, the thing is, I wanted a big family. Like I come from 4. I wanted to have. I would have stopped at 6. Gladly stopped at 6, but we got twins. So Courtney was pregnant twice, which was good. So she only went through that pregnancy stage twice. But yeah, I would have loved to have 6 or 7 kids.
Yeah. But you're right there. But you know what people always say? Oh, I can't afford to have kids. But it's not an ongoing. And then I had a friend of mine who's having a child soon, and he said it was. He goes, I read an article that said a kid costs you $1 million over its lifetime. Yeah. I said that's not automatic payment, mate. No. Like they don't say to you, oh, by the way, make sure you put this aside each week for your kid. I said you just buy the kid. Your kid will never go without. I know you. Your kid's never going to go without. Yeah. So it doesn't all come at once. You find a way. You just go, okay, well, my child needs this now or that now. Or I've got to feed it. It doesn't become like, and then say, oh, I can't afford a child. Well, fuck. Yeah. Not everything's a financial decision you pay.
Nah, that's right. And the thing is, if you're spending $1 million on your kids, I'd gladly spend $10 million on my kids because I get more enjoyment out of watching my kids play footy and being them as what they are. But it's just...
It's never a financial thing, is it? You never look at it and go, oh, it cost me...
Shit, they've cost me $400 this week. Shit.
Maybe you could sell them.
Oh, all people do.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. No, I don't think I could do it.
No, I fucking definitely.
Some days.
Yeah. Oh, school holidays.
Yes. Good home.
School holidays.
Fuck.
Come back when you're 18.
Yeah. My youngest is 10 now.
Yeah.
It's just getting.
Well, see, I got the twins at 9. See, this is the thing. This is the thing with my kids. I got 3 kids. So I got 12-year-old and I've got 9-year-old just about to turn 10. I've got the twins are 10. When you put the three of them together, they'll gang up on someone and they'll fight.
Yeah.
But you take any one of those kids out and there's only 2 left, they're the best mates. It is their behavioural patterns, and I'd love to be able to talk to someone like a psychiatrist or a kid behavior.
No need. 3's a crowd. That's all it is.
But
Simple as that.
As soon as there's 3 kids, it becomes mayhem. But it doesn't matter what kid you take out. You could take Harper, Chase, or Nuller out, one of the 3 out, and the 2 of them that left. Man, you wouldn't even know they were at home. They get along. They're doing something. They're always keeping themselves active. They're playing. They're never fighting. And then you add that third one in. Fuck me, she is World War III. It's over. But yeah, but school holidays is not too bad. So Courtney can look after the kids more. I'm out.
Working.
Yeah.
Well, meeting of the minds. That's what it is.
Coffees. Working.
I can't coffees.
Yeah.
I'm off coffees. No, 3 days. No, I'm off for 3 days. So I've started.
So you've done the fast. You're doing
7:30 last night. 7:30 I started.
How you feeling?
I feel great now, but I quite often don't eat till the afternoon. So I'm in a honeymoon period where I know this is just normal for me.
Yeah. Okay. So when you get to, I reckon when I did my 72-hour fast tonight.
Yeah.
Like for me, because I was at home doing the first 24 hours.
Yeah.
For me,
you did it on lockdown, didn't you?
No, I think I was a little bit after lockdown. Okay. But what I'd do, I was just sitting. I did it after lockdown. I was sitting on the couch, and then I'd, out of habit, walk over to the fridge.
Yeah.
I open up the fridge, and go to grab something. And go, fuck, that's right. I'm on this fast. I can't eat. So then close the door, sit down, watch TV. Hour later, 2 hours later, get that hunger back. Get up, go to the fridge.
Yeah.
Because I love my milk. I drink 3 litres of milk a day. I honestly drink 3 litres of milk a day. So I go grab the milk. No, that's breaking my fast. Can't do that. Sit back down. Then I have a black coffee. And then, so the first day, tonight, I reckon you'll have the most vividest dreams.
Okay, dreams. All right.
You'll dream good. And then, mate, tomorrow, you won't feel anything. Well, this was my stages. Tomorrow, you'll feel like a bag of dicks.
Yep.
And then you'll have a shit night's sleep. And then Thursday, you've come out.
No, Friday. So Friday night, or I'll be finished.
Friday, you'll feel like you're on a bender without the come down.
Nice. All right, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Well, I picked. So here's why I picked the days. It's just all worked out. Serendipitous. July 1st today.
Yep.
So we're halfway through the year. Shit half of the year. Shit start of the year. Actually hasn't been too bad for me, if I'm honest. Yeah. For the world it has been. Yeah. But I've been keeping on. Then I got half of the year. So kickstart myself for the next half of the year. Got a party this weekend. So I fasted through till Friday. Then I got a bender Saturday night.
Oh, perfect. So you're going to be flying.
Yeah, I know. But then I was thinking, do you know what I've started doing?
Then you won't eat, and then you'll have another bit of a fast too. So you go 72 hours maybe into a 48 hour.
Well, then I thought maybe I'll kick on, try and go to Saturday morning. Then I was like, Saturday night might be rough if I fasted for 3.5 days.
Xanax.
But I'm already I'm half a day in, and I'm already planning the I'm already I'll go extra. I haven't hit the hard part yet.
No,
by the hard part, I'll be like, you can fucking keep that extra half day. I'm not bothering.
Yeah, that's what I did. I rewarded halfway through it when I was starving.
Yeah,
I rewarded myself with pork belly because I love me pork belly and me roast potatoes. Favorite meal of the day. Favorite meal I got. So I started preparing my pork belly and my potatoes a day and a half out from the.
Oh really?
From hitting my 72 hours because I thought I'm going to reward myself after the 72 hours.
Yeah, I'm
going to have a feast. Spoke to Anthony Minicello who I've had on the show.
Yeah.
He said, mate, whatever you do, don't touch pork. Don't have pork belly, mate. You just have a soup. Bring yourself back into it, nice and easy.
Unachievable. You can't do that.
But then I got to the 72 hours and I actually didn't feel like eating it.
Really?
No. I served it up for myself. Went and sat outside by myself. Enjoyed the moment, and I went. When I was cooking, I had 3 hours left. I was like, I could probably go another day.
Really?
Yeah. Because even now, I had first time I ate. Yesterday was 6:30 last night.
Yeah.
But I had a coffee in the morning and whatnot with a bit of milk in it. So that breaks you fast, but you still don't eat.
I quite often won't eat till the afternoon, just purely out of being busy.
Yep.
I just won't. I'll start work. I get up early to start working. And I don't think about it.
Yeah.
And then when I eat, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
It's like your last supper.
Oh mate.
But that's the thing.
I'll eat to the point where I just get tired. I'm like, I'm fucking knackered now. I can't do it.
But that's the thing. When you start feeling hungry now.
Yeah.
If you distract yourself, it's like when you're at work.
Yeah.
You know, You're in.
Well, you fill up on water. Like I fill up on water, and then I'm like, oh, well, I'm not that hungry anymore.
No.
But I'm gonna not try not to have a black coffee till the Savi.
Yeah, right.
Because I like coffee.
Yep.
I love having coffee in the morning. Like,
yeah.
That's my favourite thing to do. So I'm really going all out here.
Routine.
That is routine. Everything for me. Because I travel a bit with work. I'll hop in the car and go have a look at a job, and I'll get a coffee on my way.
Yep.
Or I'll get something to eat on the way. That's when I do my eating. Is in the car.
Yep.
I'm a good car eater.
Yeah.
Good car eater, car drinker.
Yeah. Good car eater. Steer with my knees. Steer with my knees while I'm eating a burger.
We should have a race.
Yeah.
We should have a knee.
I'm in. All
right, done.
We'll put some GoPros in there. We'll see how we go.
Yeah. Except my new Ute's got the steering wheel slightly higher. Jeez, it threw me in all sorts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because my knee's not quite reaching.
Yeah.
So I've got to try and so I'm playing around trying to get it.
Put the seat up and drop the head.
I know, drop the seat out, Because I had my old Ute, was just perfect. It was perfect knee steer. Yeah. No, allegedly.
Yeah, you don't get allegedly. Allegedly, that's how you do it.
Allegedly, we'll have a race through Corona.
Another thing that you got to know when you're doing this fast, you got to understand that Minnie was saying, and Matty Shaw were telling me, I think she might have even been Benny Shea, said, mate, 90% of people who try it first up, they fail.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So use that.
That's made me motivated to do it more.
Use that as motivation, because I got to about the 56th hour, 60th hour, and I was ready to fold. I was like, it wasn't like I was dying or nothing. It was just like, fuck it, I'll try it. I'll try it again next week. But then I thought to myself, I've come this far, and then the conversation I had with one of those boys was, 90% of people fail on this, and I was like, fuck that, I'm not failing. I'm not failing. I had salami in the fridge, big nice bits of salami and cheese. I was like, could just hook into it. It's that's good fat.
That's part of the reason I told you. It's part of the reason I'm saying it here, because I know that if I say it, I'll be accountable. Because if I was thinking, I'll just do it silently. Yeah. No, I can't, because I know what I'll do. I'll eat tonight. Well, see, the thing is, I put it on Instagram because I had to do it then. People will follow me, and then it was amazing when the amount of messages and questions I got. Yeah. Oh, were you doing it for fat? Were you doing it to lose weight? No, I wasn't doing it to lose weight. I lost 6 kilos, lost 5.5, nearly 6 kilos. Yeah. That was great, but for me, it was a reboot. For me, it was just you know what? I want to have a crack at this because I've got nothing to lose. I've got everything to gain, and I gained so much from it. And you know what, people? It's funny. When you finish it, all you want to do is talk about it because there's a good little achievement. I guarantee you, once you finish it and you succeed, all you want to do is talk about it. But once it's weird how people's behaviours are. General, like people that will want to embrace it, but I've had people who sort of like turn their nose up at me when I'm talking about it. I'm like, well, if you don't want to do it, I don't give a fuck. It doesn't matter. Yeah. But then I've had people that have turned their nose up at me, and then I've had people go, oh, listen, I've done the fast. Yeah. Right? The same people that turn their nose up and go, you know what? Sort of look at me and go, fuck, what's Walks doing? Fuck, is he trying to preach this fucking shit to me? Yeah. I'm not preaching about it, but when people ask me, I'll tell you how the feelings I got and what I got out of it. And that's only my experience. Yeah, exactly. I'm not telling them how to do it. It's not like it's a religion. That's an inherent issue with idiots anyway. People don't like to be told.
And then they go away. It must eat in their head and they go, fuck, well,
it's a seed.
Fuck Walks. I'll have a crack. And the blokes that have had a crack have come back and said, mate, listen, fuck, I've done it, and it is unbelievable.
Well, my wife told me I was an idiot this morning.
Yeah. My wife
didn't have for you, dickhead. I'm like, she goes, have you not learned anything? Because we had in here had Stacey, a naturopath, who's actually a friend of hers, and she talks about it's really super interesting actually about like your adrenals in your body and how you actually got to boost them up before you start doing, like, lots of people fail at any diet or any lifestyle change or anything like that because they're basically just, their adrenals are so fatigued that you can't actually, you're setting yourself up for failure, and that's part of the reason probably why 90% of the people fail. And I know my adrenals aren't the best as well, but I'll just get through it by sheer stubborness. But she just said, do you not listen to Stacey? Yeah. She said, you got to sort your adrenals out before you do anything like that. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it the backwards way. Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but that's it.
It was just timing. Perfect timing. July 1st.
Yep.
Get it done. Crack start. Reboot for the... And that was the same for me. It's not a weight loss thing, although I could do with shedding 18 kilo. Yeah. But the
cutting the leg off.
Yeah, getting back to about 100. But I had a big weekend in Noosa. And I was I burned the candle at both ends.
Yeah, nice.
In Noosa. What a place.
You got to do that.
You've been there, obviously.
Yeah, Noosa is unreal. Actually, I'm going camping at DI this weekend, so.
Was that? Oh, Double Island?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, he couldn't get out. A mate of mine he went up a day early. He couldn't get out there because of the permits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, permits were locked out. Like, the permits were all booked out.
Oh, shit, I better get into those.
You better go on that. And you got to have 2.
Do you?
Yeah, there's something. He said he could get the 1 permit, but he couldn't have a 2nd permit.
Oh, really?
He only wanted to do a day trip too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you get up there?
Nah, couldn't go.
Yeah, right.
Like, he took.
Well, see, the thing is, everyone's been locked down.
Yeah.
Now school holidays.
Yeah.
Locked down, everyone's like, fucking get me out of the house.
Get out of here, yeah.
Kids, let's go. I'll put you on the beach. Hopefully won't see you for the rest of the day because you'll be playing on the hills or in the water.
Making nuisance of yourself.
Actually, I seen the sharks up there the other day. Did you see the sharks up there? Yeah, there was.
No.
I counted.
Glad it wasn't because I was swimming too in the river mouth.
2 weeks ago, up at DI,
Yeah.
a little baby whale was going through. There was 60 sharks following it. And a white was just right behind its tail, and there was 60 of them. I stopped the free frame my Facebook, and I counted 60 individual sharks.
Holy shit!
It was crazy. It was ridiculous. It was. I showed my missus. I said, "Let's go to DI."
And I was about to say, and you said, "Hey, I know where we can camp."
Yeah, we'll go to DI.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the kids can go swimming.
Yeah, we can cull one of those kids. Back to happy days. Yeah, perfect. Take the twins.
Yeah.
Oh no, I've never been up because we were going to do a day trip, but just couldn't.
Yeah, right.
Couldn't. But
beautiful.
maybe check that.
Beautiful part of the world, mate. Beautiful part of the world. So
I can see why people. You know what happens as soon as because we hired one of those party boats, like a pontoon.
Yep.
And as soon as you start getting on there, you see the houses for sale all along. You think, one day maybe go up here. Oh, only $11 million for one of them. The one I looked at.
11 mil.
11 million. It was granted it was pretty close to like the town.
Where do people get this money from? Inherited? I don't know. But I think Noosa is a pretty young, sort of vibrant thing. So it might be tech guys. I don't know. It might be people who do podcasts.
No, unlikely.
Unless you're Joe Rogan.
Yeah, unless you're Joe Rogan. But I make a point of now when I go to houses like that, like a little flash, I make a point of trying to find out what they do for a living.
Yep.
I try and weave it into the conversation somehow. Yeah. Like they go, "Oh, you're busy. Oh, yeah. What do you do? Yeah. 9 out of 10 times, it has something to do with information technology.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's a new way to go. But the thing is, like even with social media now, like so many people are making so much money from their social media, and it's good. It's unreal. Like if it's a new way, if it's a new way of making money, well, let it go.
And I also hear a lot of arguments where people say, "Oh, what happens if Instagram shut tomorrow?" Well, I think that that'll create a vacuum. Yeah. So if Instagram stops, then people are going to transfer over to like
TikTok,
whatever it is. Like it's just going to create a vacuum, and the next most popular thing's going to take up that space.
Yep.
So there's all those Instagram models that say, "Oh, you'd lose your job if Instagram stops." Well, they won't.
Well, see, a lot of them lost a lot of revenue when Instagram took their likes away, and people could see how many likes they had. Yeah. Because then they were going, oh well, they were going to Puma or Nike or whatever, Jamison or whatever, and saying, oh, listen, I want to be an ambassador. This is how many likes I got. This is how many followers I got. Now they can't see that. Now they can't show that. Yeah. And it sort of brought them back into the field, didn't it? Sort of
evened up the playing field.
Yeah.
That likes is a funny thing. It's disingenuous, isn't it? When they, and that's the thing I struggle with stuff you do. You think, are you doing this for? Yep. People, are you doing this for people to like it, or are you doing this just because this is what you're putting out there? Yeah. I don't know. It's very.
Everyone lives on likes. Everyone lives on likes. Yeah. I put up shit on my thing because I want to see how many likes I get and have a bit of a laugh. I put shit up on my Instagram all the time.
Put shit up. Oh, did you hear Dell?
What happened?
This might be breaking news to you. I was listening to a show the other day. What show was it? The Sunday roast? No, Sunday something. And they were talking about your screenshot of Wayne Bennett's text.
Oh, were they?
Yeah, they were talking on it. It was what is it? The Sunday sin bin. That's what it was.
Was it on Triple M or something?
Yeah, Triple M. Yeah.
Right, what did Wayne have to say?
He just said, "Oh fuck." He said, "Oh, did you see?" He just mentioned it, and he goes, "Oh, I wished he hadn't have done it." Like,
why?
Not saying he wasn't saying it like saying, "Oh, you're a dickhead for doing it." He was just saying, like, "Oh, I wished he had kept that private."
Nah.
And then someone said, "Oh, that bloke's got no filter," and he laughed and said, "Yeah, I know. I don't know why I thought about that." Yeah. Like, just the way he said it. He wasn't bagging you, but it was just,
mate. I'm good mates with Chris Lynn, the cricketer. Yeah. The blokes has smacked him fucking over the Gabba and every other stadium in the world. I was talking to him the other because I'm mates with him, and I said, "Oh, mate, can you do something for me? I'm going to put it on my social media." He goes, "Mate, listen, if I'm going to do something for you, I can't get it put on your platform." Yeah. I said, "Why is that?" And he said, "Because my manager has told me I can't put anything on you.
You're not welcome.
I'm not welcome. I'm not welcome to put anything associating with Linny. But
you're like that naughty kid. You're like that naughty kid that people's parents won't let them go. And you can go and play, but you can't go around to Chris's house.
Yeah, you can't sleep. No sleepovers.
No sleepovers at Chris's, and he can't come over.
I get in trouble from my older brothers because my two older brothers in the family. They're sort of the hierarchy of the family. You know, so they make the decisions, and me and my younger brother just roll with whatever they're going to do. The amount of times I've had phone calls from Shane saying, "Listen, take that down. Take it down, Chris. Take it down." I'm like, "Fuck, why?" Yeah, mate, you can't put that up on social media. It's like, fuck off, I can.
Did he tell you to take down that thing where you saw the penis giving birth? That was one of the most rough things I've ever seen in my life.
Could you imagine if males had to give birth through penis holes? Can you imagine that?
The worst part was it was dripping at the end.
Oh, the last photo was hilarious. The last photo.
That's right. That's what got me.
The last drawing was the best one.
That made me crook.
But can you, like, I actually, it didn't register the first time I seen it. I was like, man, I'm going to get a reaction out of this. So I put it up, man. Some of the things, it was like, I thought it was actually like, you'd turn the tables. Like, I never really think about that. I don't think, you imagine if males gave birth, where would it come out of and what would it do? You know,
I've given it heaps of thought, no.
Yeah, well, that's right. That's how it came. It was a bit of shock value. But
maybe
some of the drawings were spot on. Mate. Him giving
do you know what I think about when I do that? Like, there's actually someone there illustrating it.
That's right.
Like, there's someone chuckling to himself, drawing out, like has the talent ability. You're an artist, and that's okay. You're good. You're an artist. But what sick and twisted artist decides, I'm going to use my talents for evil this time?
That's exactly what I was thinking when I was posting. I was like, there's some sick fuck out there.
Yeah.
Putting this whole thing together, how it's all started.
Yeah.
I like how she's sitting there with holding his old follower, like see
with an ear.
See if you can hear the baby kicking his old fella, and like he's looking at like really proud. Oh mate,
No, the worst was definitely the last one. The last one shook me.
Oh yeah,
mate,
he was fucking a bit loose.
It's just dripping,
dripping out.
Oh mate, yeah. But Wendell didn't. He wasn't. He was just like. I could say what he was saying. He was just shaking his head, going, "Oh, he's got no filter. I don't know what, you know."
Oh, but the thing is, like,
that was legit his message.
Yeah, I got Wayne's number. He's good. Wayne's awesome. I love Wayne.
Yeah.
He calls it out. I've had some stoushes with him, but I've called him out on a few little things. But hey, Wayne doesn't give a fuck. Like the thing is,
he's an old man. He's 71.
Yeah, 71, 72. But the thing is, with Wayne, he enjoys the young fellas that have got a bit of naughtiness about him.
Yeah.
Like, love Sean Berrigan, because Barrow was, mate, he was like that kid at school that was at the principal's office every day.
Yeah.
The ratty.
Yeah.
But everyone loves him. Like, Barrow's a lovable. Wayne loves your lovable larrikins. Like, he sort of likes all that. Like, I know Wayne would have probably got a chuckle out of it. That's how come I put it up there. I've put things up about Wayne all the time, and he has a bit of a chuckle about him. You know, but
because he could have easily messaged and said, "Hey, take that down."
Could have.
It doesn't matter once it's out there. It's
gone. But there's other messages that I got with him as well too that I'm never going to post. But I just like how it was 7 hours later he writes back, "Never."
Yeah.
Hey Wayne, it's walked.
I bet you thought that was gold. I bet you thought it was gold when you got it. You're like, "Oh yes."
Yeah, that's how come I put the 3 little chuckles there.
Yeah. Never. I wouldn't want to go back there either.
Oh mate, they're in trouble, eh? But the thing is, talking about the Bronx. They have so much pressure on them. They're I would, you know, you got your Collingwoods, you got your Essendons, you got your Broncos, you got your Roosters. When you look at sports clubs and sports teams and sports organisations in Australia, you think of the Broncos. I think of the Broncos, obviously, because of rugby league.
They'll be in the top 10 iconic sports teams in Australia. Top 5, probably.
Mate, they'd be top 3. Well, who else? There's Collingwood. They'd be probably number 1.
Waratahs.
No. In Broncos.
Fuck,
you got me then.
The ACT Brumbies are up there,
the Western Reds.
The Western Reds, yeah, they're red hot.
The Perth Glory.
Yeah. No, that's soccer.
Oh, well, there you go.
No, but Broncos, I don't know any AFL. I don't know what the iconic AFL ones are, but definitely Broncos.
Collingwood are your Broncos. Collingwood and Broncos would probably be your top 2 AFL league sporting teams. Recognisable.
Isn't that crazy? Well, a lot of that has probably got to do with the fact they're a one-team town.
Yeah.
One team town. And also, because they're not the oldest club. Like, you look like there's Rabbitohs, there's What are the older ones? Parramatta Eels. All those ones are
Parramatta's,
older,
Roosters.
more established, but I guess they're in a flooded market in Sydney, so you can't really be too dominant.
But the Broncos have been a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Since 1988, they've been a powerhouse up until probably 10 years ago. They haven't won a premiership for 16 years. So there's a shitload of expectation on them to win. Now, I feel sorry for the players. I personally don't think Anthony Seibold's a coach. And I certainly don't think he's a coach of the Brisbane Broncos. And that falls back to Paul White. Now, Paul White's a lovely man, but I think he's got this wrong.
He wasn't sure of himself in that press conference, Did you hear that? He was just like, he's like, I guess I think I'm the man for the team.
I think I'm the man to bring him.
Yeah.
Broncos have gone from now. Everyone talks about Wayne Bennett and about how when he leaves a team, he leaves it in a debacle and all that sort of stuff. When he left, now the only time I can think about it, like he went down to St George, won a premiership. They hadn't won a premiership for fucking God knows however long. He goes to Newcastle. He's on big bucks. Adam Tinkler's flying. Adam Tinkler's pumping money into that place like there's no tomorrow. Pumping money into fucking Wayne's bank account.
Oh, Nathan Tinkler.
Yeah, the ex
mining
magnate.
guy. Yeah.
Now Tinkler's getting back up and going again and whatnot. Loves Newcastle. Pumping money back into it. He was pumping money into it. The reason why they went so bad after Wayne left, it wasn't because Wayne went in there and sucked the life out of the place and then left. It's because Nathan Tinkler had to withdraw a shitload of his money because he was financially going down the gurgler.
Yeah.
So he withdrew from the club. Now, when you've got a backer that's going to back anything, if they withdraw, it's doesn't matter what it is, their main backer, it's going to take a nosedive. Any business is going to take a nosedive. Any sporting organisation, if their number one man, who's pumping millions and millions of dollars into that joint, backs off, Wayne exited because he had a contract, and then there was things in the contract that couldn't be honoured. Of course, he's going to leave.
Yeah, yeah.
So he's left
Naturally.
Like you're not going to stay there if I don't give a fuck if people go, oh, loyalty and all. There's no such loyalty in rugby league, because you know what? When a player's playing good, the club's going to love him and want to keep him. When he's playing bad, what do? They look at the next bloke over the other field.
That's the thing that pisses me off a little bit with the contracts. Like a lot of it is they say, oh, the guy's got on his contract. But if he's not playing well, they'll arsehole him straight away.
Exactly.
Like, no one.
Right.
It's like there's no loyalty whatsoever
in it
anymore.
It's a business. If you can be a one team, one player. Yeah, if you can go through your whole career and play in one club, like Anthony Minicello played at one club.
Yeah.
Perfect. Adam Rico was another one. Shane Webke was another one. Darren Lockyer.
Cam Smith.
Corey Parker.
Yeah.
Those sort of boys. That's great. That they've obviously held their.
But do you think most of them stayed for less?
Well, at one point they would have had to take a pay cut. At their end of their career, they would have had to take a pay cut. I don't care who you are, you would have had to take a pay cut. Otherwise, I know for a fact Corey Parker could have left the Broncos for $200,000 more in his last contract because and then went to a club and got his retirement package and fucking that was it. But he stayed at one player club. Darren Lockyer was the same. He could have went overseas and played for double what he got at the Bronx. Anthony Minicello is another one. At some point, they would have taken a pay cut, but because they're so loyal, the guys that are involved in those clubs, mate, they look after them after football. Darren Lockyer's gone into a cruisy job. Shane Webke's been set up at 9, at 7. Corey Parker probably would have been done the same thing with Fox. There would have been an arrangement there. Listen, mate, we'll give you $200,000 less so we can put it back in the cap. But as soon as you retire, we'll give you a spot at Fox.
You're good as gold. Yeah.
Or we'll give you.
How strict are they on that salary cap? Like I heard a story. This might be bro science here. I heard a story about Matt Rogers that because when he was at the Titans, because his wife worked for a company that was sponsoring the Titans.
Yeah, I don't know.
There was a bit of a like. I don't think anything bad came out of it.
Yep.
But I think that they got run through the ringer a little bit. Like, hey, are you employing her as a way of paying her? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard that. But I
remember hearing that and thinking, fuck. Like, I don't know if anything like in the interest of trying not to make anyone look stupid. I remember thinking, like, I don't think anything bad came of it. But I remember thinking, fuck, that's how deep they go to find out whether they are cheating the cap.
Well, see, there's stories. There were stories back when I was playing that players would sign for say $200,000 less on the books, but then they'd be advised to go buy a house. This is what I was told, to go buy a house, and then one of the sponsors would buy that house off them in 6 months' time for $200,000 more, or $300,000 more than market price.
Yeah, I see.
So, but the thing is, the sponsor doesn't give a fuck because they're getting an asset.
Yeah, yeah.
And the player goes, well, you know what? I've had that
cash.
house for 6 months. I'll pocket that. There's ways and means around getting around things. Like it's like
Chicken still goes on now. Must do. Do tell. So anyway, about the
yeah, but that's, I mean, with the Bronx, getting back to the Bronx, like I said, mate, they're in a massive hole. No one's fearing them. No one fears coming to Lang Park or Suncorp Stadium.
Not
anymore.
even the Titans.
But you know what? The Titans are on the improve.
They played well.
They're in the improve. They'll win more games than they lose. No, I mean Garth Brennan, mate, he couldn't coach an under sevens team. I don't know how he got the job. I do know how he got the job. Matty Johns made a call to Rebecca Frizzell at the 11th hour, and he got the job. He didn't even apply for it. But I'm so glad he's out of that club. He was destroying that club every week he coached. I think that the new coach they got in there. I think he goes all right. So there's a lot of improvement to still happen with the Titans. They're on the mend, but they're nowhere near a top 4 team. I think. Mate,
can you imagine being a coach?
Fuck that.
That would be one of the worst. Like there's maybe 4 or 5 guys you can think of whose jobs are safe, if that.
Let's go through it. There's
top 4 are safe.
Yeah, but you know what? They have 5 losses.
Yeah, and they're not safe.
And they're not safe. That's like, why be a coach? But this is my take.
And they're not even the highest paid people at the club.
This is my take on a coach. And this is my take on the fucking merry-go-round that we see in the NRL. Why do clubs re-employ coaches that have previously been sacked and they're no good? Like Steve Carney just got sacked from the Warriors. The Broncos, this is how delusional they are. He's been sacked by a club.
Yeah.
Now the Broncos want to employ him.
Yeah.
And then I saw on NRL 360. I saw that that Buzz Rossfield who was talking about but Steve Carney's got, and then Paul Kent said, mate, his win percentage record's like 35-40%. Why are you going to employ him as a first grade coach? Then Buzz Rossfield, who's been around game for a fucking 1,000 years, look at him. He turns around and goes, no, mate, but you should have a look at his win record when he's an assistant coach. The reason why his win record is so fucking high is because he spent 10 years under Craig Bellamy. He steps out of the shadows of Craig Bellamy, has a win record of 30% or whatever it is, but then NRL teams are already looking at him to be a first-grade coach somewhere else. So what he's doing is he's employing that bad habit at one club, gets sacked, and then another club goes, we're desperate for a coach. He's coaching the NRL. Let's give him a go. And then he comes over there with the same win record and then gets sacked fucking 3 years later after they spent $800,000 on a coach.
Is that something to be proud of, being the best assistant coach around?
But the thing is, some coaches are made to be assistant coaches, and some coaches are made.
Well, that's like Tony Iro at the Warriors. You know Tony Iro?
Yeah.
He's been assistant there for, I think I read the other day, like 10 years.
But
he's pretty much seen 6 or 7 head coaches come and go. But he's like, I don't want that job. I just want to.
That's right.
I just want to be assistant.
And I played at a number of clubs. I got sacked from a number of clubs also. But I also had an assistant coach that you go, righto, if he's ever a first grade coach, I'm not going anywhere near the club. But I loved him as an assistant coach, because what assistant coaches do is they take the pressure from the playing group to the coach. So you got to have your number one man.
Like a conduit in between both of them.
Yeah. So a good assistant coach has a great relationship with the coach and an even better relationship with the boys.
Yeah.
And that way, but a first grade coach has also got to have that relationship as well. But they've also got to have that assistant coach they can lean on. But the thing is, they've got about 4 assistant coaches now anyway.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Dimmick, he's another man. He's another bloke that's a great assistant coach. And I think, to be quite honest with you, I think he's happy just to be an assistant.
We probably see how, like, you fly under the radar as an assistant, you probably still get paid pretty well.
Yeah.
You get to be around the boys, you get all the perks and everything.
That's right.
But you don't have the responsibility. Sure, you probably get triple the pay, but you might only get that for,
But the thing is,
a third of the time you're going to work there, because you only got a lifespan.
people have asked me, Walks, what do you be a coach? Well, no, I don't want to be a coach because I've got 30 different personalities myself. I can't deal with another 30 different personalities in the team.
Okay, so Titans come to you, coach.
No.
Walks, coach. How much? What's your price tag?
Oh, I still wouldn't do it.
Really?
Because I know that I wouldn't be I know that I wouldn't be a first. But if they said to me, "Listen, I'm going to offer your brothers to be the first grade coach. Do you want to be an assistant or be in and around the club?" I would gladly jump at it. But mate, I'm too loose. No one's never going to appoint me. No NRL's going to.
You're a liability.
No, not a liability. I just call it how it is.
That's a liability. But when you got to toe the line, that's a liability.
I don't. But the thing is, I couldn't give a fuck what people think of me. I honestly could not care less because, mate, why should someone's opinion change the way I behave?
Yeah,
like that. I don't see fit. I see fit. Why change for someone else? Why live a lifetime on your knees when you're going to fucking spend a lifetime on your feet? You know what I mean? So, that's sort of shit. That's how come I couldn't be a first grade coach because you're probably right. I couldn't toe the line, but I know that I could bring some fun to an NRL club and make, because you've got to have that serious side. Your NRL coaches have got to be serious.
Yeah.
They've also got to know when to back off the boys. But some of those assistant coaches, they don't know how to do that. That's how come they can't make it. But getting back to my first statement is why NRL clubs keep on re-employing coaches that have been sacked multiple times from other clubs. It's fucking beyond me.
Yeah, but do they have an option?
Of course they do. There's plenty of other great coaches out there in the Queensland Cup and the New South Wales Cup.
Yeah, but then they are probably thinking you're better the devil you know, the devil you don't.
No. So the thing is, it's so stupid because what you get at one club, you're going to get your club. So why employ a person that's had 4 senior roles as a coach or 3 senior roles as a coach and been sacked because the players go, fuck this coach, I'm not learning anything from it. Can't identify talent, number one, and then it can't identify when the players need a break or they need a different direction from a first grade coach. If you've got a first grade coach that can't identify them, you're in a big trouble. That's what Wayne does really well. That's what Craig Bellamy does really well, and that's what Trent Robinson also does really well. Now, I was a bit sceptical of Parramatta coach. What's his name?
Brad Arthur.
I was a bit sceptical of him. I had him as an assistant coach, and he was too hard-assed to be an assistant coach for me. But he stepped up to that role, and I was a bit sceptical. I gave him a bit of a hard time when he first come in, but he's got the playing roster that he likes. I love that Dylan Brown, and I love Mitchell Moses, the way that they play. They very much look eyes up, and it looks like he's giving that club, like he hasn't got the best. He's not as good a roster as what the Broncos got, but he's getting results because he can identify talent and he can identify what they need to do to win games.
Yeah.
Like, Seabold wouldn't know a rugby league player if it come up and spanked him on the arse. And that's the difference. The difference is...
With him as well, though, he also, I think we spoke last time, but he inherited the Rabbitohs. And he inherited them with, like, Sam Burgess, Greg Inglis.
Mate, they won a premiership year before, 2 years before.
Yeah, so they got these hardened guys that pretty much take the ball by the horns anyway. Yeah. And then he goes to a club that's young fellas. And the guys that are older there probably aren't as influential as what Rabbitohs had.
See, the thing is... He turned up at the Bronx. Now, Wayne, he's going, I inherited Wayne Bennett's problems. Fuck. Man, he's got rid of McCulloch. He's got rid of Cody Nicarima. He's got rid of all these players.
Maguire too.
Like this is the thing with him. When he turns up to a press conference, he knows he's gotten beaten. He's already got the excuse page in his back pocket, and he puts it out on the table and he reads from it. Oh, I've got 10 players that have all played under 30 games. I've got 2 debutants. Well, you know what? It's your role as a coach to get those players that you've picked.
Yeah.
To get them up. Now, like I said to you before, someone could ring me at fucking 1 o'clock in the morning and say, listen, Walks, if I'd played 10 games, listen, Walks, we're going to play in half an hour. Hurry up and get up to the game. We're going to play at 2 o'clock in the morning. Just say,
Yeah.
I'd be ready. Because you know what? I had Wayne Bennett there telling me, this is what you got to do. These are your steps. This is what I know. Like Wayne Bennett, he identified with me at such an early age. He said, Chris, what do you do? What do you do game day? I said, oh, mate, I just sit back, think about the game. And then he goes, righto. He said, I know when you've had a good game, He said, I know that you've done something during the day where you don't even think about the game. He said, Chris, I don't want you to think about what you've got to do tomorrow night until we put your jersey on and you start warming up. Because if you start thinking about the game before you get there, he said, you're no good to us. He said, you'll play bad. But then he'd identify with another player and say, listen, John, I need you to start thinking about the game today. Like, I know we're playing tomorrow. I need you to start getting yourself ready. Yeah, so he could identify with every player what he would do, and then he'd walk around before the game, and he'd address us as a team after he'd gone around individually and addressed everyone, and he had, it wasn't like he had a script for everyone, but he knew, how's everything going? You're right, walks, you're right to go, mate. This is all we need you to do today, and then he'd address you, and then you'd be that prepared for a game because obviously, mate, he's the best. But he also had Craig Bellamy as his assistant coach too when I was at the Bronoc. So they had a pretty good team. But that's the difference between a first grade coach, a good one, and a very, very bad one. And he's a very bad one, Seabot.
When you got laid off, each club, how did they do it? You get a phone call, or did they call you in?
No, I got.
You got a bit of experience here.
Yeah, I got laid off from Roosters, and I got made redundant. Laid off at Melbourne. That was.
How'd you get laid off at Roosters? Not the instances leading up to it, but what do they do? Do they call you in and say, mate?
Yeah, just speak to my manager. Get a phone call from the manager. Club wants to see you. Go in there and have a chat with them, and then wait.
Did you know? Did you think?
I knew because at that point in time in my life, I didn't want to play footy. I couldn't give a fuck. I was done. Footy was the furthest thing from my mind. I loved playing and I played it good, but I couldn't be fucked.
Yeah, not interested in it.
Not interested. And then 2005, I was just on the piss all the time. Then Sticky just said to me, mate, listen, fucking, we're going to move you on. Find me this, find me. Like, he made it hard for me to enjoy my football again because he was finding me for everything because he wanted to push me on. And then at Melbourne, mate, I had some things going on in my personal life, broke up with missus and all that. And she was living in Sydney. Anyway, I was I missed a game because I was on the piss.
Did you really?
Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, and then he just called me and said, "Listen, mate, it's not working." I said, "Yeah." So he.
Did you know it was on?
Oh yeah, I knew it was. I knew that I'd just done because and I was bad for that club because their culture was good, but I was thinking about myself. I had a lot of things personally, things going on in my life, so I didn't worry. That was probably the only time I didn't worry about it. Being in a team environment, and I was only thinking about myself and getting on the piss all the time, playing poker down at the Crown Casino with Brendan Vavola and Tony Hashem and all that was the thing. I was going down there and getting on the piss every night and playing cards. And then Bellyache called me in and said, "Mate, listen, we're gonna have to part ways." He said, "This is not working." I said, "Yeah, well, mate, if you didn't call me in, I was coming in to tell you that I was going home." And I had my bags packed, and I literally left his office, went home. I was living with Mick Crocker at the time. Said, "See you later, mate." And he goes, "Where you going?" I said, "I'm going back to the Gold Coast. See you later." I walked out with my bag. I left all my shit at his place. I had fucking clothes and shit still down there. I picked up my bag. I had my bag packed already. Yeah. Went straight to the airport, and that's probably the second or third last time I've been in Melbourne. That was 2006. And I for a long time I held a grudge towards Craig Bellamy, and I fucking hated him for doing it. But now I'm a little bit older. I go, you know what? He was in every part of his right to get rid of me because I was I was a cancer at the club. I was on the piss. The boys knew I was club. We'd do wrestling and blokes would be going, "Fuck man, how much piss did you drink last night?" Because that's what I was doing. I was just drinking piss. And partying. Footy was the furthest thing because everything else seemed to in my life. I was living away from home, I was a bit homesick.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work. And then I held it. I was like, "Fuck you, Craig Bellamy." But at the end of the day, he had a position, and he's got a business to run, and that's the football team.
We see how smoothly he runs it now. You got to understand it. Shit just wouldn't fly.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coach. I think he's probably the best coach in the world. But obviously Wayne Bennett, I think he is. His track record is second to none. I think Wayne's getting a little bit long in the tooth though. But he was so enjoyable to play under Wayne. Like I said,
that's why everyone wants to play under him.
That's right.
Jesus.
I know. Got a fair bit to cover. Right,
Yeah.
don't get me started on the Broncos.
I know. I won't. No, it's too late. I'll keep you like a rolling stone.
Oh, but the thing, as a past player, like
Is that why you had a bender on Friday because you drowned your sorrows after the game?
Oh, mate, the thing is that like everyone that's where I probably played my best football, and that's where that's when I debuted, and I actually go for the Broncos. People ask me all the time, what's it like for a past player. Now, when I was playing, I used to hate when past players used to come out and say something about the team. Now, I'm definitely not having to go at the players because I know how hard they work, and I know that, mate, the poor old Milford, like, fucking, yes, he's on $1 million, but he's got to get direction from the club, from the coach.
Yeah.
And you know what? The unfortunate thing is not all of them are playing their best football. They're in a bit of a slump. Now, like, I read the other day that, a couple of boys were getting death threats. I used to get death threats. I used to get death threats all the time when I was playing. I had about 10 death threats. But like I said, I put up a thing on my Twitter last night. Like, no one's ever going to tell you they're going to kill you and kill you. It's the ones that don't say anything. They're the ones you got to worry about. So, it admittedly is not as nice as it is to get the mail in. Yeah. Where people are writing, cutting out thingos and gluing. Because that's I had letters like that sent to me that I was going to get my head cut off and I was going to get shot, and I spoke to Wayne, I spoke to Wendell about it, and I think Wayne said to me, mate, listen, no one's ever going to tell you they're going to kill you unless they're mad. But I hope the fans stick by the boys because
they get booed off at half time.
Well, that's never happened.
And also there were 10,000 fans allowed and only 6.5 showed up.
We'll see. What
does that tell you?
Well, even
in this crisis, everybody wants to get out of the house. Everybody wants to go to live sport. They allowed 10,000 people, and 3,500 people opted not to.
Well,
more than that.
I've very rarely seen supporters leave a Broncos match before full time, and I've since Anthony Seibold's been at the helm. He just can't coach. I'm just gonna I've got no beef with the bloke. But he just and you know what? I hope that he proves me wrong. But what I'm seeing a bloke that is he is sitting 5 k's off the beach in a raft without a paddle, and he's out on there on his own. He looks lost.
They must be lonely, eh? They must be fucking lonely. You got the board copping it, and
but mate, Paul White's another one. Whitey's he's got to stand up and he's got to take some heat off him. He's got to start taking some press conferences. Maybe we should listen to Paul White's got and what he's got in store for the Broncos and for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Because he's dished up a 5-year contract for his mate Anthony Seibold. Comes from the same region, and I think their mates dished up a 5-year contract for him and has delivered a fucking donut. They got beaten 58-0 in a semi-final.
Yeah, that's right. They did. Yeah,
they get beat. Yeah, they get beaten by 59 5 games later by the Roosters. And in the press conferences, 12 minutes of press conference of Anthony Seibold dishing up excuses of he's got the youngest roster and he's got this bloke is debuting and this guy's only had 12 games. And then, back in 2016, the Sydney Roosters sat back and said, well, we're in a position, we're coming last. Fucking get your own players in your own backyard in line, and you won't need to talk about stats about the Roosters 4 years ago. It bothers me, but I'll stick with the boys. I think they can turn the corner, and they've got so many young kids in their team. They should be your Tommy Deardens and all that. They've got to now fast forward their games to being a 50-game player, and the
Warriors next week anyway. So this week. Well, did you see the obviously saw the Melbourne Storm guys going in and having a chat to the Warriors after the game? I didn't appreciate that.
Didn't you? No.
See, I love that.
No, because you know what?
If who didn't appreciate it was the coach.
Yeah,
did you see him in the background?
Yeah, of course you should, because you know
he
what?
Was fuming.
He just got fucking beaten by 50 points. Now,
so you wouldn't have appreciated that if they came in?
Fuck no.
Really?
No, and I don't care if it was a Melbourne Storm. I don't care if it was a Gold Coast Titans, the Brisbane Broncos.
Yeah.
You know what? Especially after the game where you just pulled their pants down, you fucked them in the ass, you're beating them by 50 points, right?
Yeah.
As a player that's just been beaten by 50, you don't want the opposition coach and the opposition captain coming in and going, listen, boys, thanks very much for your appreciation. We've just beaten you by 50 points, but thanks very much, guys, for everything that you were doing.
Really?
Great. I would have done it. You know what? I would have done it 2 days later, 3 days later. I wouldn't have done it straight after the game because you know what? Their hearts, all the Warriors players' hearts have fucking literally been ripped out of their chest. The wound hasn't even had time to close, and you got the coach and the captain coming in going, "Listen, guys, thanks very much for your game. Really appreciate you coming in and doing this for the league." For me, I know that there's been a lot of people going, "Oh, that's great. You know, well done, Melbourne Storm. Fucking well done, Cameron Smith. Great." But, mate, as an opposition player, you don't want it straight after a game. You know, if the score had been 16-14, and it doesn't matter if it's the loss. It's how they beat them and then just walked in and went, there you go, thanks very much, guys. I didn't enjoy it.
I didn't look at it like that. I looked at it like it was a gesture.
But do it 4 days later when there's no cameras around. Because you know what? There's 55 cameras in the dressing sheds. Of course there's going to be people who go, oh, look at Melbourne Storm. Or look at the opposition team. Look what they've done. How nice is that? Fucking do it away from the cameras. Do it. Go to their training camp. Or next time they play together, make the phone call. Or do it somewhere else where like I know what Warriors are doing. I appreciate it. I love the fact that they're coming over here. They're sacrificing so much. They're sacrificing their family time. They're sacrificing everything. But don't do it straight after a game after you've beaten by 60 or 50 points. And you know what? The only image I got out of that was seeing Todd Payton in the background, and he was fucking fuming. Now, there was two reasons why he was fuming. Because he wanted to address his teams. He wanted to address the team. Yeah. And keep that inner sanctum. He didn't want fucking...
I could see how he would feel undermined.
It's being undermined. Fucking... That's a fuck you.
Yeah.
I don't care what club it is that did it. It fucking really got under my skin. Like, I did not see that. I saw that as a PR stunt. I saw it as a PR stunt. Now, you see players take a knee the other day with the Warriors, but that's after a win. That's after, thanks very much for the game, guys. But beating them by 50 and then coming in there undermining Toddy and his organisation. Like even I don't know about you, but I saw the Warriors players in their rooms going, get the fuck out. We want to dig a hole ourselves and get in there because we hate fucking losing. Yeah. We're away from our families. We don't need a captain to come in and go, you know what? Just because the opposition coach and captain have come in, I'm all of a sudden feeling good about myself.
Yeah, that's true. Like it would be hard to feel great after that guy. Yeah.
I saw players in there looking up at him, just going, get the fuck out of my sheds. I might be wrong, but
I think a lot of those Warriors players too, a lot of them are young, impressionable guys.
Doesn't matter.
And so they probably look up to him.
Mate, when you're beaten by 50...
Yeah. They've just flogged you, but yeah.
When you're beaten by 50, you don't want to look up at anyone. You want to look down and you want to think about... Mate, the last thing you want to know, the last thing you want in your sheds, as much of the sacrifices you've made, and be beaten by 50 as the opposition team in the sheds thinking you about fucking staying away from your families.
Yeah.
You don't want that. I certainly wouldn't. You know what? If I was in the sheds, I'd probably just walked up and had a shower and fucking wouldn't listen to them. Because you just want to, you want to sit there. You're ashamed enough as it is. You don't want that opposition club coming in and going, thanks, boys, for your time. Thanks, really appreciate the sacrifices you made. Thanks for letting us beat you by 50. See you later. No,
makes sense. I see your point. I don't know. I guess you can only speak to them and find out what it is, how they took it. But yeah, all I can envision is that coach sitting in the background, just
Toddy Payton. He was. I'm good mates with Toddy.
Where's he from? Is he a player?
Yeah, he used to play for. Mate, he was so good. Toddy Payton was awesome. He was fucking. He was him. He was the youngest player to ever play for Canberra. Yeah, actually, I think now he might have dropped that mantle, but he was still at school playing first grade for Canberra Raiders.
Really?
He was awesome. He was a front rower. He was a halfback trapped in the front rower's body. He had great ball skills.
Really?
Everything. Yeah, I live with Toddy Payton in the House of Grouse.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Champion bloke. You won't find a nicer guy. Really good coach. He's a student of the game. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah.
But that's Todd. And also that was Toddy's first go as a first grade coach.
Yeah.
Steve Kearney had just been sacked 5 days prior. He's now taking over a footy team that's away from their family, sacrificed so much to get this competition back up on the road, and then be beaten by 50 and then have that. While the camera's there, they could have done it so much better. It was PR.
I can certainly see the PR side of it. I can certainly see that. Yeah, but I don't know.
And that's not having to go at Melbourne Storm, because you know what? If the Roosters did it, or Parramatta did it, or whatever other Broncos wouldn't beat them by 50, but any other team,
you might have got Steve Kearney in there having a chat to the Broncos. That's just
anyway, that's just me.
I can see. I agree. I agree in the sense that I can see how you wouldn't feel, because I've never been put in that position. Obviously, after a game, so I don't know. But maybe show up to the practice, like you said, to their camp 2 days later and say, "Hey, I thought I'd just come down here and give you guys a bit of a."
Or let the wounds at least heal of being beaten by 50 and the shame and all the disappointment. But don't walk in there straight after and thank them for the appreciation. I saw it as fuck. This is PR fuck in capital letters.
Makes sense. I agree. I agree. I see your point. I don't know if I agree in the sense that I don't think what I'm saying is I don't think it was a premeditated PR stunt. I think the intentions were.
Mate, there's
pure.
fucking cameras everywhere all over.
I think it's just opportunistic. Hey, let's just go and have a chat.
What's PR? It's PR. It's PR.
Yeah.
You know what we want to see. We probably didn't get the chance to think. Well, they thanked them after they would have walked around and thanked them after the game.
Yeah.
They would have walked around, thanks, like you do with every single game you play.
But do you think Cam Smith and Craig Bellamy are the sort of people that want PR?
But do the club want PR?
Well, yeah, the club probably do.
Because you know what, you're sitting opposite me going, you know what, Melbourne Storm, God, that was nice.
Yeah.
You know,
they win. I see how they win on that point. Maybe it was the CEO came and said, "Hey, you guys should go and have a chat."
Oh, what about But yeah, I just it stunk for me. And as a player that's been beaten 48-6 when I was playing at the Bronx, that's my biggest loss, mate. That still hurts me today. That I was 19 years of age, so it's 21 years ago that I was beaten by Melbourne Storm 48-6, and fuck me, it still burns me. Now, you imagine what it's like. We've been away from your family for so long, 6 or 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then be beaten by 50 points.
I think it's close to 9, 10, coming up 10 weeks, for those blokes. Imagine
anyway, I thought it was a PR and I thought it stunk.
I see your point. Busy week this week?
Coffees.
What's on more coffees?
Couple of flat whites.
What about this weekend, Bender?
No, going camping actually, going to DI.
Oh, you're going to double island.
Yeah,
check that. Check the permits.
Yeah, I'll have to do that with the missus when I get home.
Yeah, you might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Mate, we're good to go.
Beautiful.
Another week done. See you next week. Here's some stories from Double Island.
Go the Bronx. Oh, fuck. Well, I'm away this week, so I can't watch them play, so it's good.
Go the Warriors.
But I will say this. Come on, boys. Let's go.